Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have something a little bit different from my share today, and it is really because I'm going to fess up. I made a mistake when I was recording this one. I didn't actually hit record when I started, and I didn't realize until I'd actually finished my layout when I took my phone off my little arm and realized I didn't actually turn it on. So what I'm going to do today is just give you a bit of an overview of how I pulled this one together and what inspired me as part of building this particular layout. All right, so this is my final product, and I absolutely love how this one turned out. And I immediately was inspired by this patterned paper here from the Maggie Holmes collection. This wonderful rainbow arc or arches paper I thought would be a wonderful backdrop. I have seen plenty of people cut these out as well, and so you could certainly do that. If you saw one of my layouts from last month when we used the Vicky Bouton, I did cut out the sort of rainbow rays of one of her pattern papers and distressed the edges and made that the main focus of the page. So I decided I'd do the actual opposite for this one and keep the pattern paper nice and flat, no cutting out, no distressing, and then I'm using all the embellishments to actually give the dimension on the page. So yeah, I thought it would be something a little bit different to go with this arch. It's just so pretty. I love these two colors here, this blue and that beautiful green as well. Right, so to pull this one together, then I thought I'm going to keep I've got a little 3x4 photo here. This is myself and one of my besties. We were out at an evening all about an Alice in Wonderland immersion cocktail evening, and this is just one of the selfies we took that evening, and we look pretty cool there with our tiaras, if I do say so myself. So what I decided to do was really give that I wanted to put the photo straight basically into the middle, so I've added that to where that first arch, those first two arches actually sit. And then I've just really bulked it all up with lots of ephemera. And I also did do some fussy cutting. It's not a layout with me without doing some fussy cutting. And when you get these Maggie Holmes pattern paper, they are just beautiful, beautiful roses there on the page. So I couldn't resist that. So I've got some of those for this page as well. And I also challenged myself to use some of the sticker sheet. I don't always get to the sticker sheets, and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with this one when I first saw this particular cutouts, because I'm not a big fan of having bicycles, and this is quite a travel related theme release. And so I didn't really want to do travel. Although, you know, as I'm sitting here, I've just noticed this one here. This is a photo of what it looks like is a canal in Venice or something. And I've got photos for that. Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that. And you know, these planes are quite cute, but I'm really not sure when I'm going to use them. So I really wanted to give myself a bit of an opportunity to use some of these today for this layout. And then we can go from there with what's left for the next few layouts that I have for this month. And what I did with these is, because I wasn't sure where I was going to place everything at first, I did stick them onto just a spare sheet of white cardstock, and then I cut them and fussy cut them out with my scissors, and then I've just turned them into die cut so I could move them around the page. Okay, so I'll just talk about how I've done my layers here under my photo. So I used the cut apart paper, which I don't have much of because I did use it in my previous layout. And these make fantastic layering pieces if you don't, or you could obviously use them you could also use them in your pocket pages, but I really like using them for the edges, you know, photo matting, or as I've done here, some of these tags here, I've cut out just that top section of the tag, and I've done that with this one as well. So I just thought that would add just that extra layer of dimension. This one here was this tag right here with that lovely little purple stripe around the edge as well. And I have popped all of that up on some foam as well. So lovely dimension. And I didn't stick down everything close to the page, so I can sort of bend things up a little bit as well, just to give a little bit more of that dimension. And I do the same with that tag as well, and this one here. And you'll see here, I actually didn't even use the whole of that tag. I've just used the tippy top, and I've left that tag to potentially be used for something else, because I knew I was going to cover up most of it with, and I really wanted that tag to be at the bottom. And in actual fact, it didn't fit very well if I then had my, I hope I'm making sense. So when I started pulling together where I wanted my flowers, I really wanted this piece. I really think this is a gorgeous color. So, and I really wanted it to sort of finish off the cluster. So that's why I cut that into pieces, just to allow that. Now it did leave a little bit of a break there, but it hasn't, not really bothering me. It gives the eye a bit of a rest as well, slightly, I guess, because I have gone very heavy here in this cluster here on the right-hand side. So I have popped some of these up on foam as well, just to give that added dimension. And I also have curled up the edges as well, to get particularly on the leaves and the outsides of the petals. And I'll continue to play with that as this sits at my desk, because this will sit out for a few weeks before I put it in any type of album. And I love to be able to do that. What I also added here was some just some thread underneath there. I just wanted to make sure I was using all of the colors and tying back into some of this lovely green here. My smaller cluster is up on this top left hand side. Again, I have curled this up. I have put this up on foam as well, and just added in some purple thread for this one, because as much as there's no purple on this background, there is the purple here on some of these flowers, and I didn't want to cut them away. So, and also too, because it's quite purpley pink in this background of the photo, so I wanted to make sure that I had that purple color up in this section as well, because I see that as more pink, and this is that real purpley color as well. Yep, so I really love how that my little cluster turned out. I just added on that the camera from the sticker sheet here, and then I've also added in my favorite. I love butterflies. If you saw my last layout for the first one of the month, it was full of butterflies. I just love some fluttering around the page. So I've used some die cuts and also some of the sticker sheets for these as well. And these, some of the smaller ones, these ones here, were also cut out of one of the tags in the cut apart sheet. Oh, I should mention what I did with this cut apart sheet as well. I just cut out the edges of it, because I really love these suitcases, and that was in the middle of that. So I wanted to make sure I saved that for another layout, and that will go perfectly then if I use this other sticker as well, just for some added dimension for one of my layouts that I'll do maybe later. So then then to finish off, I've just put some fluttery butterflies around the page, added some of the hearts from the sticker sheet, and this ephemera piece here is one of the pieces of vellum from the ephemera pack. And then I stuck down here, there was a word which was sun plus fun, so I'm just using the fun there, and that was perfectly sized to sit across that little banner view. And I thought that nestled in really well in that sort of empty space that I'd created there because of putting that tag, which allows the cluster to sort of sweep around the page. And then just adding in that sticker as well, which is from the sticker sheet with smile. And then my final is just adding in those clusters of butterflies. So I'm sort of, I guess how I describe this is I really wanted to give a really deep dimensional view of my clusters here, and then I've lightened it up. So it's quite heavy at this bottom piece. So to lighten that up and make it not so heavy, I've allowed then those butterflies to flutter across the page, but I've left quite a bit of space between them. And I think that really helps give a little bit of sort of balance to the page, because I have made it quite heavy right here. But I really felt that it needed something up here as well. If I just left everything here, I think it would have looked a bit strange. If I possibly could have moved it up this way, but I really wanted to give that expansion feel to the page as well. So hopefully I've made some sense, and I've given you a little bit of an idea of what motivated me with this one. Oh, one thing I didn't mention is this piece here is also from the ephemera pack. It looks like one of the old-fashioned slides that we used to, with negatives and things like that, you used to put in a film or projector. So I cut that in half and was able to just slot that in as well, just to add that extra little bit of border around that page. So yeah. Oh, I should also mention, I have finished off with my favorite thing to do, some gold splatters, and oh my goodness, I'm almost out. I need to order some. And I've just lightly splattered those around the page, just to give a little bit of bling, and it also helps tie back to some of the ephemera pieces because they have some gold on them as well. So lots of dimension, as you can see. And I love making the fluttery butterflies, so I've only glued down in the centers of their bodies just to allow for that to be able to, oh, I need to fix that. I haven't glued that down properly. Beautiful. All right, so thanks so much for joining me today. I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.